Hello, everybody. I'm Bryan,
I'm Bryan.
and this is Bryan versus Bryan, episode 124, The Way of Water, or Avatar 2, or in parentheses, Too Little Too Late.
Uh,
We'll
13
see.
years too late, or 12, whatever it is.
Mr. James Cameron, I don't like Marvel movies. Well, Disney just bought the rights to my movie, so I think I'll make them a sequel like they begged. But I still hate you, Marvel. Yeah, this is a kind of a sellout moment for Cameron, I feel. Talking all this jazz about sequels and big budget movies, and hey, Disney bought my franchise. I'm gonna go make a big budget sequel movie. One of the most expensive movies of all time.
Yeah.
Reportedly, 350 to 400 million. Then no one will even say that's how expensive it is. When you won't say the price, it's fucking expensive.
Yeah.
Okay, because you're embarrassed. Because you don't want people to know how much money you actually need to make for this thing to be profitable.
Yeah, I have variety up to kind of touch on what you just said. Oh, I don't have variety up. There it is. Here's a quote. It kind of goes into what you're saying. The Way of Water cost at least $350 million to produce and many millions more to market. Cameron says the film needs to become one of the top grossing releases in history to break even and justify its massive price tag.
To break even. Jesus. We got to be Titanic to break even, dog. That's ridiculous.
Crazy.
Want to make some money on this thing? No. We just want to have the title, Guinness Book of World Records, number one. Which it ain't going to do. This movie is not going to be in that echelon. At least I don't think so, from what I watched. I guess it's doing okay. It's below projections right now. I think it's at like 180 million opening weekend or something like that.
Yeah, that also had it in there. It did 134 domestic, but globally, I think globally, overseas it did 300 with a total of 433.
So those aren't 400 million budget numbers.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy talk. I was watching the production or reading about the production, and he's like, way back to when the first one come out?
2009. Yeah.
Yeah. In just 10, he's talking about sequels already.
Yeah.
Cameron loves sequels, man. You know he does. Two of the best sequels of all time.
Where's that True Lies 2, baby?
And, yeah. And he's talking about it, and he's like, well, I'm waiting for the technology. We got to be able to do motion capture underwater, which has never been done. I was like, what the fuck? Why? It's so ridiculous. And I guess they did. I mean, trust me, dude. If you wouldn't have motion captured underwater this thing, I wouldn't have been able to tell a damn difference. And maybe would have saved, what, $200 million? You get a rig of dots and things, and you're in a pool. Oh, Sully!
Yeah.
Jeek Sully! It's like, what? All right. Yeah, I gotta wait for the freaking waterproof, expensive motion cap cameras. God, it's like VR underwater.
Yeah.
Spinning and filming. And, oh, my Lord. He's under there with a fucking submarine camera. And Cameron, you're out of your mind.
Man loves water. Can't.
Actor goes in water. Director in water. He's got doll's eyes, Chief. All right. So first big question, I guess, was this necessary after so long, after the first one, you know? And I don't even know if the Avatar's that good of a movie. It just hit, right? At a weird time where it was like the graphics were amazing. The story was okay. You know, it was a Dance with Wolves or something like that. Kind of, we've seen it before type of thing. Fish out of water, meant to infiltrate a tribe or a people's, learns to love them in their ways and defends the tribe or the peoples against the oppressor which sent him.
Yeah.
We've seen it. But it came out at that time in 2009, and like the new 3D was big. I mean, like Beowulf did it first, but this really showed you what that kind of stuff could do. Um, so it just hit at a perfect time. I don't know if it was that great of a movie. I love Cameron, but I know Avatar isn't like something I go back to and watch at all. Um, Other Cameron movies I can watch
Yeah.
constantly, like True Lies. You can fucking put that thing
Classic.
on anytime, baby,
Oh yeah.
anytime.
So good. Yeah,
So good.
Avatar. We Sarah hadn't seen it, and I kind of rushed her through the movie because we did it late last night. I was like, "Oh, here's the story beats you need to know." Kind of fast forward to the movie, but as I was watching some of these scenes, I agree that like visually the movie is fucking amazing. And coming back to Pandora, I guess that's the question: is like, did it need a sequel? Do we need to come back here? I would answer yes, based on what I saw last night. But watching the Avatar, I'm like, yeah, the story is like it's so predictable and familiar. Like we know all these story beats. But I did have a little nostalgia while I was watching it because I do remember being in the theater in 2009, just being in awe of like the visuals. But watching it at home without the 3D, it's kind of like, yeah, it's Dances with Wolves. That's very pretty.
Yeah. Uh, so my quick answer would be no. We didn't need to come back. But I think you know what I'm gonna say. It just felt long.
It was long.
Thing felt long.
For sure.
Yo, it felt long. I never. Oh, I can usually get through a movie without peeing because I hate leaving. But the story is so slow and nothing's going on. I was like, yeah, I could do it. And then ended up doing it twice. I was like, damn, I gotta pee again. This damn movie just keeps going. You said somebody took a damn smoke break in the middle of your
Yes,
movie.
my partner, the guy sitting next to me went and had a smoke break. That was pretty funny.
Came back smelling. He's like, what I miss? They were fucking swimming around some more. Somebody said something about, the water or something. I don't know. Hey, Tatonka, the big whale thing. Yeah. Don't kill the Tatonka.
And I love it too because after, I don't know, maybe like 30, 40 minutes after he got back from his smoke break, he fell asleep. And he fell asleep for a long time, but he woke up during the climax of the action. He's like, all right, I made it. Hell yeah.
We're doing whaling now? Yeah. All right. Just became Moby Dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. This thing was slow and long.
Yeah, a lot of movie. A lot of movie.
And there's no story. I did not like to complain about these Marvel movies. This seemed like the only story there was to propel the effects and the graphics. Like, oh, what's a story beat that gets us to the water? What's a story beat that shows off something else we can do? I mean, there was a little heart in it. Just the family dynamics of the Sullys. Now they have like 4 kids.
Yeah.
Right? They had their own son. And you get some freaking Lion King type shit in the beginning, but hold them up to the light. The whole tribe, and then they have a daughter, which is not theirs, which is Sigourney Weaver's Avatar's baby. Somehow got pregnant in the tube, and there's some really creepy stuff about who knocked her up throughout the movie. Like, who's your daddy? And they're all making fun of her. Stop it!
Yeah.
And these are just ridiculous choices. That was just a reason to get Sigourney Weaver in the movie again. So Sigourney Weaver plays that character. It's like, oh, come on. Do we need her in there again? No. It's just a weird way to get her back in. And there was a weird way to get the main general guy back in. Now he's a clone, but an Avatar. He killed me once. We don't stay dead.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's a weird way to just get this guy back again. Okay.
Dude, that was one of the worst parts of the movie for me. It was so fucking bad. Like, hey, if you want to bring this guy back, fine. Like, everyone loves Stephen Lang playing the rootin' tootin' general guy. We all love it. Bring him back, fine. I'm cool with it, whatever. But like, to make him a Na'vi, like especially when you watch Avatar, he fucking hates the Na'vi. I don't believe for a second the scientists are like, hey, we're gonna turn you to a Na'vi, and him being like, oh, gee, sure, why not? I think he was like, fuck you, I ain't gonna be no fucking Na'vi. Those are my enemy. So I don't buy that. But also the on the nose explanation of it, like it's a video screen or a video diary, and
Yeah.
he's like,
This
"Well,
means I'm dead. Yeah.
yeah," and you turn Giovanni Ribisi's in the background. He's like, "How do we do this again?" And oh shit! And he walks to the camera. All right, audience, we take his memory and his little thumbstick, and we fucking put him in the Navi. And then he like walks away. I'm like, "What is happening? This is awful."
Yeah, that was bad. And so that's first kid, second kid, Sigourney Weaver. Then they have another son, a younger son who's kind of the outcast, lives in the shadow of the older son. And
Yeah.
then they have one last daughter, young daughter, so four. And then the whole story is about them. And so it's just like they have this really prologue at the beginning. It's like we defeated the sky people and sent them home. You know, and it's the big battle from the end of the first one. And then we lived in peace for like about 4 months. Dun, 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 dun. Happy ending, and then we saw a new star in the sky, which can only mean one thing: the return of the sky people.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you're just redoing the whole movie. It's like, this is just, okay. They're pissed that we sent them home, so now they came back with all the people that died, but cloned as Navi to give them a better chance. Like, really?
What?
This is the plan, huh?
Yeah.
If you can't beat them, clone them, baby. Hey. And so I thought that I thought that was a little ridiculous. But so the story is that, and then they come back, and Jake, he's afraid to have his family living with the tribe he's in, because he's like, I don't know what they call it. He's like the tribe leader of his tribe because he defeated the sky people, and he's like the chieftain now.
Mm-hmm.
They all respect him as a Navi and accepted him. He decides to leave that role to make sure the tribe isn't in danger because of his family. And there's some whining and crying about it, but they all realize it must be done. Which strikes me as strange later in the story, because he's so willing to just leave everything they love and know to protect those people. But then later, he's like, no, fuck it. This is your war too. Once he goes to the water people, he's like, no, this is my tribe. I'm staying with them. We're going to fight. And I was like, well,
you could have stayed.
I mean, those guys are alone now, and pretty sure they're probably all burned to death, just like some of the water tribes were doing. So, anyways, I don't know. All of a sudden, and you're probably more comfortable in the trees than you are in the damn water. You don't have a thick tail. You don't got the webbed fingers like these weird Navi.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of all over the place. So the story is just a vessel to move the family to somewhere else and move to the water and learn the ways of the water tribes and show off that freaking crazy CG and that motion capture underwater. And that's like
it's about at least an hour and a half into the movie. I was like, Jesus.
Like 2 hours maybe of that.
Yeah.
It's just, that's the little bit of story you got. I'm not exaggerating. That's the story. We had to leave. And then it's like, oh my God, it's so long.
Yeah. You could have easily set that up, because I actually like that idea. I like that's the motivation that gets them, as the general comes back, and like it's a threat to the tribe. All right, well, let's just leave, and that way the threat's fine. Like, sure. I'm fine with that. But I didn't need an hour of it to do it. You could have just done that in like 30 minutes. It just takes so much time.
It's so long. And then you start having these big pieces of like swimming and teaching things, and it's just spectacle. And then I feel that I'm watching it, I'm like, man, I try to think about what has gone on in the movie up to the point I'm watching. I'm like, there's nothing really. They've come here, they're swimming. It's like, no, what has happened? When is something going to happen? It's like, they're just showing me all this spectacle, and I don't know, it's not as impressive to me anymore. It is crazy CG. Like, this stuff is pretty gnarly, but it's like everything's CG now. So it's not as impressive. It's better than the other stuff I've seen. Like, this is the high bar, but I don't want to see an all CG movie. Cameron. And it's like you used to understand that type of thing, uh, as much practical as you can. And by practical, I don't mean a person in a tank that you completely digitally edit out of the movie and
Yeah.
replace with a fish. You know, um, so I'm just not that into it anymore. But some of this stuff, it is like you look at it and it just amazes you, like water beating off skin pores and these fishy things. Like that's what I'm impressed with is like the characters, the Navi and stuff. When you do the big fish, like alien fish looking things, it's not as impressive to me. I don't think because it's not very humanoid and it's not an animal we can recognize, so the CG doesn't look as impressive. But when you're looking at a humanoid being and eyes and lips and stuff like
Mhm.
that, it's way more impressive to me.
Yeah, the visuals, like it's this is a fucking gorgeous movie, and there's a couple times in the movie I was like, this feels like the most expensive Discovery Channel movie I've ever seen because I felt like I was waiting for David Attenborough's narration to come in at any point because it felt like I was watching like Planet Earth or one of those type of shows. Like the Moktuk whales and its migration when they had tell stories. I was just waiting for it because I don't know. It's a very very gorgeous visual movie, especially when it gets to the water tribe. All that stuff was fucking amazing, in my opinion.
Uh, yeah, I mean it looks good, but I just don't. I wasn't involved with anything else around it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy this very much. The whole time I was very bored, and the whole time I was thinking, man, damn it, Cameron, what are you doing, man? First of all, do you think it's going to get the other sequels based on what you've seen?
um,
Because he planned like five or something, or four.
probably because I do feel like it leaves but not like a massive cliffhanger, but it does like I know we're jumping towards
Well, I
the
know
end
it's a
here, but
cliffhanger. He's planning on he
going
planned
to
on all of them.
war
But
is
he
what I
said
kind
if
of
it
got.
doesn't do as well,
He's not going to do
they
it.
might not do him. He's backtracked a little bit. He's already said he's not that confident in his movie, which is weird for Cameron to say
Yeah.
because he was like, "Well, if it doesn't perform, we might not get to do the sequel."
Yeah, it depends on if this movie has legs or not. I was in that same Variety article. It said that Avatar released with 70 million. This made 140. By inflation, maybe it's close, but Avatar stuck around for a very long time during that holiday of '09. So yeah, it's really a question of whether this has legs to continue going through the holidays because a lot of families are going to go out for Christmas and so on and so forth. But we'll see. I mean, it's what 40 minutes longer than the original. I don't know if people are going to keep coming back to this over and over again like they did with Avatar. Um, but yeah, we'll see, man. We will see.
My gut feeling is that I don't think they're going to make the sequels. Um, they could. I just don't see this doing well enough because Disney is all about that money, baby. That bottom line. They're very. They don't give a crap about your artistic vision, and if you
Hmm.
want to do four more, they're about the money. And I don't see this movie making them enough money on this kind of a budget for them to be, yeah, we're willing to move forward with the rest of these because they want to make money, man. Disney's
Yeah.
about that, and this would have to make so much money. It could. I just don't see it happening from what I saw. Um, and I'm not a. I liked Avatar. I don't see you catching many people that didn't like Avatar with this. They're
Hmm.
gonna be like, "What the hell?" You're sitting here. Uh, so it's a smaller group of people, and that you got to make so much money. So we'll see. That'll be very interesting. Uh, I don't think we needed this sequel, let alone four sequels. Or no, I think he said three, so it'd be four total movies.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. And he's going on this. Well, the first one's water, and the second one's in the sky. The last one is the last Airbender. So you want
Yeah.
to?
Well, it's also hard too because like I was expecting this movie to be another like military versus Navi again, and thankfully they didn't do that. And I think I've seen some complaints that like the climax of this movie is too small. It's not like a big epic fight scene like the first one was. I actually disagree with that. I think that I like the more intimate, smaller scale climax this movie has. But it seems like Avatar 3, if it does happen, will be like a large scale. We are taking the fight to the military versus these last two movies. The military is kind of taking the fight to the Na'vi. It sounds like she's going to get all the tribes together and do one big massive fucking fight. That's what I got out of that last scene. But do I want that? I don't know. And like, how many stories can you tell within this world, right? Like, because all the only antagonist you really have is the
One good one.
military. It's like, we're just gonna keep fighting the military for 4 movies. Like, what? You gotta tell us
They
something
bring back
different.
Lang again. Oh wait, they don't even have to bring him back. They didn't even kill
They
him
didn't even
off
kill
this
him, yeah.
time. His dumbass son saves him. Oh no, Lang's son. We forgot about this guy.
Oh,
This
Spider,
fucking
dude. This.
character.
Oh my
This
god.
fucking character, dude. Oh my god.
The
So-
worst part of this movie for sure.
The general's son is raised on Pandora. Well, almost everyone was sent back to Earth. Babies couldn't ride in the hyperspace tube, so one was left behind as a stray. He wasn't part of the tribe, but he was always around, like a stray cat. So we named him Spider. And he's just this fucking kid. It's like the kid from the Wild Thornberries or, I don't know, Tarzan story. You know, he's wearing a loincloth the whole time. It's really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
When he's young,
Dreads.
even when he's old, he's like, wow! He's just running on shit, and he always has to have a mask. And he's like, I am Navi too. He speaks the language, and it's the most awkward,
Yes.
out of place shit I've ever seen. He was actually one of the funnest parts of the. I enjoyed him. Every time he's on screen, I'm like, oh, this fucking guy, dude. This fucking Spider. We can't
Oh my
forget
God.
Spider. He's one of us.
Dude, you put it perfectly. He's so awkward every time every fucking scene he's in.
You got these
Oh my
10-foot
God.
tall fucking CGI blue dudes, and then you got the one practical effect in the movie is like a naked guy in a
Yeah.
loincloth, like just standing there. It must have been so awkward to be him. And
Oh,
after
yeah.
filmed this movie, dude.
And he's not a very good actor. He was pretty rough.
No, they don't know anything. Quit.
Oh my god, fucking Spider.
Oh, and so he's like captured in the beginning when they first trying to get him in the forest. So the General Navi Lang character has him and is trying to use him to find Jixuli, and which doesn't go very well because he doesn't know much about him. He's like he knows everything. It's like they don't even live in the same place anymore. He just knows nothing now. He knows the language though, and you find that he's starting to like the boy as his son, which he's not even his son. He even says it like, well, genetically we're nothing to each other. But later
Yeah.
on, you'll see he does care about him for some reason. No idea why. He's never like expressed care for him or had any meaningful interaction with him other than a hostage Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
So what the hell is that about? But yeah, I can't believe we got this far without discussing Spider. Dude, that's the Fonzie, dude. That's the guy's on the lunchbox. He's on the fucking toys and shit.
Oh god, I hated that kid. So unnecessary. Like,
Terrible.
the general had a kid. Sigourney Weaver had a kid. Like, how many people
Oh,
had
yeah.
kids we didn't know about?
Everybody's got to have such a real connection to the first movie. It's like, wow, no,
Yeah.
this is the weirdest thing. Like, I'd be like if Cameron was in that mode when making Terminator 2. He'd be like, well, you see, this Terminator was the son of the original Terminator.
Hmm.
And he has a vendetta. His father was killed. Yeah, it'd be like that. Yeah. Oh man. And the T-1000 is the son of Michael Biehn.
It's like, what the fuck?
So they get to that water tribe and they learn the ways, and there's a bunch of swimming crap and teaching crap. Oh, accepting crap and some weird stuff. What goes on? There's some stuff between his younger son and the like group of boys that are the water tribe, kind of like teenagers, hellions.
Hmm.
They're always fucking with him and teasing him and pulling pranks on him. I like that stuff, all that stuff.
Yeah, I like him. I like him befriending that creature. Like especially when you first meet him and he's got that
Oh yeah,
like
yeah,
spear in his fin. You're like, oh, and you see his little eye. Oh, it's a cool moment.
yeah. That was pretty cool. And he's like a big giant whale, and they all connect to these whales. But this whale's a loner.
The
He wasn't
outcast.
allowed to get whales because he killed someone. He didn't really. Someone got killed around him, and that's your fault, whale.
You
This
piece
is
of
on
shit.
you. You'll never outlive this fucking shame. And it's like the whales. So the whales just it's a voiceover for everything. The whales decided that killing was unjust and wrong, no matter what or no matter why. So any taking of any life will have you outcast forever. And that's what happened to him. And then later, he helps them because they're on this whaling ship. That's their ship to come get these guys and kill them. Is a whaling ship. They just commandeer a whaling ship with this crew of humans and like, oh, we can't hunt there. They'll get pissed at us. I'm counting on it. And it's like we're supposed to be, yeah. And for another thing is they're not very intimidating. Like 4 or 5 Navy American soldiers. Like we got the body of the Navy and the strength, along with our training. I'd say that makes us pretty awesome. Like, I don't know. It's still about 6 of you compared to the hundreds of the Navy. I don't
Yeah.
know. Whatever. You tell me. So they're on this stupid whaling ship, and then one of the guys from Flight of the Conchords is on there.
Yeah. The
And I thought
marine
he was kind of
biologist
cool.
or whatever.
Yeah, you kind of start to like that character because you feel like he's not okay with his hunting of these creatures. He
Hmm
has to be there, right? He kind of feels bad, and he doesn't have an accent, which is throwing me off. And I was like, "Whoa, wait, is this the Flight of the Conchords guy?"
Yeah, how does that feel? I think Sarah even said this after the movie. Like, how does it feel when everyone around you has their native accent, but you have to do the American one? It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if that guy has a real accent. I
Yeah,
guess everything I've
yeah,
seen him in, he's had an accent.
yeah.
You know
That's
what I mean?
true.
Uh, but that was pretty cool seeing him. Um, yeah. So that the end, they bring in that whaling ship, and they're going after the giant whale things to piss off the Navy to bring them out. I guess. It's a kind of a strange thing. Oh yeah, and then if you feel really bad when they kill that big whale that
Yeah,
had the baby connected with the girl. Yeah, and they just brutally slaughter it. And
yeah. That was pretty hard to watch. That was rough.
yeah, and you don't know what happens to the baby because the baby's like swimming around the dead body, but then later on they show the baby dead next to them. I was like, oh, fuck, man.
Yeah,
At least I thought the
brutal.
baby got out. And then they drill into its dome to get its fucking precious secretions. It's
Yeah,
like I don't remember what it was. It's like they call it. It's some juice from their brain, right? That stops human aging. Which they don't go into any more than that.
yeah.
It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. That seems like a pretty important, weird thing.
hmm
Stops human aging, and like let's not gloss over this. So, are you talking about immortality? Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll get into that in the second one.
We got
when
4
we
more sequels to figure that out.
when we actually bring back General Lang, you don't worry about it. Human form. I had me some goo. And Sigourney Weaver's back. We're all back. Sam Wellington, whatever, they're all back.
Yeah.
Like I bet it'll be Sam, the human, having to fight Sully, the Navi. The only person that can beat him is him.
Oh my god.
And then we'll have Christian Bale. What are you?
Oh god. Christian Bale would improve this franchise for sure.
So, oh my god. So for some damn reason, these damn kids keep getting captured, man, and I'm getting sick of it. By the second, it's not even funny. By the second time, I remember like the little girl. I can't believe I got captured again.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, me either. Damn it. The
Oh yeah,
fuck?
she's like, I can't believe I'm tied to the pole or tied up again or whatever.
It's like they
Yeah.
do the same exact scene twice. I was like,
Mm.
oh my god, no wonder it's 4 hours long. I got him again, Jake. Same deal as before. I was like, oh my god, really?
Uh,
These stupid ass kids. You leave the battlefield and let the
yeah.
adults fight. Go home.
No, we need to go back for Spider. It's like, no, you don't.
Oh
Fuck
yeah, they
Spider.
went. They went back for the little human spider, but the
Yeah.
second time, it's like we got to go back for the youngest daughter, the little girl that's actually innocent and nice.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's like, "No, we can't turn back," and he doesn't. Like you bastard,
Uh,
the fudge. Because they're all tied to a rail. La da da. Ultimatum to Jake to turn himself in. He kind of doesn't. All the Navi attack. It's just this big clusterfuck of 6 Navi fighting 100 Navi, and somehow it's competitive. But they have the whaling ship. It's a fucking whaling ship. It's got depth charges and hooks. Oh yeah, that one scene. The they're about to like kill. Like he's threatening his son, the son that's connected with the whale. I forget what those whales are called. There's just some weird name.
yeah.
But from now on, they'll be known as whales. They are, and that's how we'll reference them. The whale thing comes to save him. Like, see his eye kind of come up to the surface and see an underwater perspective of the kid.
Mhm. Oh hell no.
Kind of dives deep and then comes up. Fucking whatever that killer whale was that killed all those people. It kind of
Yeah.
Keiko's their ass. Lands on them. Oh shit! And they've never seen this happen because these whales have sworn off killing,
Yeah.
even to the detriment of their own people. And this one is like, I've already killed before. I have the taste for blood.
Hmm.
I don't give a shit. They're not letting me back. They're not letting me back in the tribe anyway.
Yeah. Fuck it.
And then these people realize, oh damn, this is what these things can do. And it
Yeah.
lands on kicking its flippers out and knocking people out and shit. And they try to shoot it with the harpoon gun. It's like, oh shit! Gets the harpoon gun, shoots him, and the whale's like, puts his head down, gets the armor piece,
Yeah.
like Batman gun sound effects. As it blows up the ship or something.
Ka-ching!
And he's like, oh no! I didn't know they could do that. The whale's like, no, you know. Anyway, no, that was a good part. I love the whale kicking
Yeah.
ass.
Even his fight
had
scene
a-
with the boat, it was really fun too.
Yeah, they could have had a cool little song going right there. Well, kicking ass. Don't mess with a whale. Yeah, the boat fight scene. They're trying to wrap him up with the rope and stuff, which makes you realize, oh, these whales aren't doing shit. These whales are just letting you murder them because this
Mhm.
whale's all on it. He's like, oh yeah, shoots him and goes, avoids it, wraps it up with his tail, and pulls it in, and like he's doing all sorts. He's playing with him, and so it's like you guys don't have to die, but whatever. No killing, I guess. So is that working out for you, or are they taking your brain juice? Huh?
He's all in. Y'all are fucked.
Yeah. Play chess, not checkers, bitch. Let's go. So that happens, and now the ship is all messed up from the battle. But then guess what? Battle happens again. Chain up the kids again to the same rail. Oh god. And it happens again. Okay. And then finally the kids leave with the mom. Like Jake gets them off and Jake's about to leave too. These idiots are always like leaving the bad guy behind. Like, oh, yeah, he'll be fine. He learned his lesson, I think.
Yeah.
And he's like, don't leave, Jake. You know I'll find you. I'll kill your whole family. And he's like, then let's do this now. Hops
Oh,
on the
shit.
platform.
Mhm.
And it's a pretty cool little fight there. Um, yeah, pretty cool little fight. Chokes him out underwater, leaves him. He's sinking. And then Spider. Who does Spider save? Like, why was he there? He's there trying to save one of the kids that were drowning, or
Fuck, I don't remember. I know that I think her name is Natiri, his wife, gets him in like a hostage situation, which I thought was kind of cool because Spider figures out early on in the movie that she killed his real dad, the Nathan, or I don't know, the general. And he's kind of like, there's many scenes throughout the movie where he's kind of like scared of her. And I think in that moment, he's like watching her. Yeah. So one of their son dies and is kind of off of the ship, off to the side. And they're like, okay. And the Sully's
that
like,
was a pretty damn sad moment.
that was pretty sad. And
he was always protecting the younger kids.
Yeah, it was pretty fucked up. And Jake is like, "Hey, I need you to be strong. I need you with me. I need you to be strong," because she's like freaking the fuck out. And then they go back to the ship and they just fucking tear house. Like she is just like going ape shit on everybody. And he's like, Spider's like watching this happen. He's like, "Oh my god." But anyways, yeah, she finally gets him in like a headlock, and she's like, "I'll fucking kill this little fucking spider kid. I don't give a fuck."
A son for a son. And then, I saw, because she has a knife to his throat. I saw she slit his fucking throat.
Yeah.
Because she goes, it just shows a quick slash, and I was like, oh shit, is he bleeding out his throat? But she slashed his chest. I was like,
yeah,
just slit his throat. Like that would have been dope.
That would have been pretty cool.
It, baby. Just do it, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Subverting expectations. Like, you just killed the innocent boy. That's what I thought happened for a second. I was like, oh my god. Wait, never mind. Okay. But yeah, and then he lets go of their kid. Like he actually does care about the son for some reason. But yeah. So underwater choke, and Spider like helps one of their kids or something out of the water. Then he like sees. Oh no, he's looking for Jake, right? Because Jake, that's what happened. Jake is down there too somewhere in this like sunken ship. So there's all these chasms, and they're kind of like the whole family's kind of stuck in there because it's sinking. And he's looking. He's like, Jake. He's looking at dead bodies, and oh, not you next. And he sees his dad or that Navi general, and he's like sinking. But he could see he's like
he's like convulsing or something.
There's a little bit of life in him. He's like, oh damn it! He grabs him, brings him up. He's like, you stupid bastard, dude. Why the?
Yeah.
It's not right. Well, when is it right? It would have been right to kill him on the surface and a honorable battle, but it's not right to let him drown. That's not right, y'all. I can't do it. It's like, dude, sometimes you gotta kill the enemy. You know what I mean? Luke didn't go to the bottom of the fucking reactor and pull the Emperor out because it wouldn't be right.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be right.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that, and I don't quite buy it. I actually thought he was going to finish the job because throughout the movie, it's clear that Spider fucking hates this guy. Like, I don't think there's any scene where he's like, "Oh, well, he's a complicated dad." There's none of that. He's just like, "Stop killing people, stop murdering, stop." He keeps telling him that over and over. So I was like, "Oh, he's just going to finish the job in one way or another." I didn't know what, but I was like, "Oh, he's just going to kill him." And then he saves him. And I was like, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, other than to keep Stephen Lang around for the next one.
And then they get him out on the rock, and Steven has one of those bird things that comes over. And he's like, come with me, boy. He just looks at him. Ha! Gonna get him. And then, like, dives in the water. You son of a bitch. You don't talk to your father like that.
Yeah.
I was like, that was so stupid. Oh, my God. We got to deal with this guy for another movie. And so, Sigourney Weaver's character, baby Sigourney Weaver, throughout the movie, the humans keep saying she has epilepsy, and she thinks she's like communicating with the god of the planet, the I don't know, the spirit,
the Gaia. I think it's Gaia.
The essence of the planet. And then come to find out, she is. She's not epileptic. Oh my god, there's something special about her. And yeah, she communicates with fish, and she's Aquaman pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
This is funny because this is like the closest we get to that James Cameron's Aquaman, like an
Yeah, yeah.
Entourage. Does the gets all the fish together, the little glow fish, and then they when you wish upon a star. And
Uh,
a whole new world. You choose it, whatever. And then the glowfish flow into the sunken ship, and they go out, and it's dark in there, so they light it up, and then they find all the people. And then I think the first one she finds, or the one she helps, really is mom and the littlest daughter, who are stuck in a little, of course,
mhm.
little air bubble. It happens in every movie. Trust me, you're gonna find a little air bubble so you can reminisce about your life before you
Yep.
drown, baby.
I
so,
see you.
so she finds them, and then she's talking to the mom. She says, "Here, I will give you this. These weird fish they put on their back that helps you breathe for some reason. I don't know how that works, but it makes you look like angels. Everything's for a visual. It's not for a story. Oh, look, I look like angels floating through
Yeah.
the water."
I remember when she comes up, she has the wings on, and then like all these little fish are kind of floating out of her, and she looked kind of like a fairy. I was like, oh great, now here comes another year of Halloween costumes with fucking Navi butterfly looking characters.
Oh God. And so she saves them, gets the mom out of there, gets the kid out of there, and then what's the other one?
It was
Who
Jake and
saves? Oh
his
yeah, the
son.
son,
Yeah.
the youngest son saves Jake, but Jake tells the son not to come back to that second part because he kind of blames him for the death of the older son. He's like, "I want to help," and he's like, "No, you've done enough." Ooh, sting, bro. Yeah, I didn't kill him, bro.
Yeah.
Give me that attitude. And
Also, how did he know? He didn't know that he talked his older brother into going back. He had no knowledge of that, so I don't know why he thinks that he's responsible, but whatever.
yeah, he's always blaming the younger brother for everything, which seems like it'd be the older brother's responsibility to make sure that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Because remember, he's always like, he's always having to cover up for this knucklehead, like earlier
Yeah.
and all that. And so he goes back and he swims down there. I don't know how he finds him, but he finds him. Goes up into the chamber and he's like, "Okay, we're gonna get out of here." Jake's like, "No, I can't make it. Like, do you know the way out?" He's like, "I think so." He's like, "Well, then you have to do it alone. I can't make it." He's like, and then he gives him the Hakuna Matata speech that he got from his girlfriend. He touches
Hmm.
his, breathe from here, open your mind. And then it's stupid. The water surrounds us. The water is the beginning and the end.
It's the way of the water.
Hear the water crash against the beach of your life, slowly dragging out the sand as years in a time capsule. Or something like that. Gives him the fucking Tony Robbins, dude. And
Yeah.
Jake's like, "Shit, this is good. I'm ready." Let me get a breath. Let's go. And he gets him out, and they all meet, and then the happy ending, yada yada. And then they got to bury the older son, and they drop his ass down to the tentacles at the bottom of the fucking ocean. The tentacles suck him up, probably eating him. And I was like, "What are they gonna do?" He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, delicious."
He'll be back in the next movie in some form or another.
Yeah. Just return to the earth. It's kind of messed up that they kill off him, I was like, well, I feel like would have had a way more punch if you get rid of the mom or the dad, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then move on with the younger gen. But
There's a
I mean,
touching moment in the end where he like plugs into Guy and it basically shows him a memory of
oh yeah,
him
yeah,
teaching him how to fish. I was like, ah, that was pretty sad.
yeah. Uh, oh yeah. So I think then they leave, and then our last scene is a voiceover, right? Jake's kind of looking at the camera, and he's like, "I'm not gonna run anymore. These are now my people." Like he should have said with the forest people, but now he's saying it with the water people.
Yeah.
We must all unite, or they will kill us all. Now, it's like I think the last line is something like, "Pretty much now we make our stand, and then now we fight." I thought that's what we're doing for 2 movies already, but
Yeah.
okay. That wasn't fighting. I'll show you fighting in the third movie, coming summer 2025.
Yeah.
So that's it. Oh man, long. I wasn't really into it. I don't feel like this is specific. I mean, it looked cool. I did think the story was not very good. I just think it was a vessel for effects, which is probably exactly what all these people are talking crap about Marvel movies for being.
Hmm.
I mean, if you got a great story, and I know Cameron can deliver a great story, so it wasn't much of a story in this, let alone a great one. Cameron has made, like 2 of the best sequels of all time, Aliens and Terminator 2, and this definitely ain't one of them. This is nowhere near one of the best sequels of all time. Maybe one of the most unnecessary. You wait so long. Like even legacy sequels, I feel like have a place because you want to see the actors again. You want to see them go back to that role and they're old and it's kind of fun to just go
Hmm.
back. But with CG characters, it's like it doesn't even feel like a legacy sequel, even though it kind of is. You know what I mean? Because they're
Yeah.
CG. It's like, man, I want to see that CG blue dude again. That wouldn't that be fun? See him old. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's just kind of weird. It is a legacy sequel because it's been so long, kind of, but it doesn't feel like one. So it doesn't feel like you're, getting that nostalgia trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of strange. Um, it just didn't work very well for me. Uh, 6.7. Way of water.
The Way of Water. It sounds like I liked it a little more than you did, although I do share the same complaints. I'm kind of conflicted because on one hand, like I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty engrossed through the whole 3 hour runtime. We were lucky enough to see it IMAX 3D, and it's hard not to like not be consumed by the visuals of the movie. There is like a large section of the second half that kind of became a little daunting. I was like, all right, let's speed this up a little bit. Um, but overall, I think I enjoyed a lot of it. Like I said, I liked the climax being kind of small and intimate. There wasn't like a huge fucking massive battle like there was in the first one. I liked that it was this theme about family. But at the same time, I don't feel like I got to know the characters as much as I wanted to or to care about them. Um, and the story needed to like redeem itself from the familiar story of the first one. I don't know if they quite captured that or improved on it. I feel like, and I think you're kind of getting into a little bit with the legacy sequel thing, which is that this movie feels like the Force Awakens for Avatar in the sense that like there's so many similar story beats in this movie that were in Avatar, like, oh, we're going into a new tribe, we got to learn their ways, and we got to be accepted by them. Like that happened in Avatar. The general going to connect with the dragon on the cliffs, that happened in Avatar. Like, there's so many story beats in this movie that happened in Avatar that it just felt like a Force Awakens type of deal, like, oh, giving Avatar to a new generation of fans, like maybe people who are younger. So that kind of irritated me a little bit. But yeah, I thought the action was awesome. James Cameron knows how to shoot action. He knows how to ramp things up, and I think when the action hits in the climax, it's a lot of fun. I like that he snuck Titanic 2 in there a little bit with the sinking ship. The characters are running up furniture as water's rushing in, and people with their head. Like it felt like very Titanic to me, so I appreciated that. Um, yeah, I thought the visuals were fucking amazing. We've already said that. I mean, it's an engrossing movie. I highly recommend seeing it in 3D. But even if you don't, I imagine that it's still a gorgeous movie regardless of you seeing it in 3D or not. Um, I had a lot of fun, man. It is long. I wish it was shorter. I hope the third one just give me like a solid 2 hour, 10 minute movie. Like let's just get a nice, concise Avatar thing. You don't need to be a bloated. I think this movie is 3 hours and 10 minutes. I don't think it needed to be that long. Um, I actually like that the general survives at the end. I kind of like the idea of like having the same villain through your movies as opposed to having a new antagonist every single movie. I kind of like keeping him around. He's just so
Or the same
fun and
clone of your
ridiculous.
villain. God.
I kind of love him for it because he's so cheesy and over the top that it's hard not to like. Yeah, give me more of that guy. It is kind of stupid that he's a Navi. I don't know. It didn't make a whole lot of sense, but I appreciate that he's still around. Spider did not need to be in this movie at all, but the more actually talking to you about it, I kind of like that he's in it because it's so fucking ridiculous. So I don't know, maybe I'm wrong on that, but maybe the movie does need Spider. Um, yeah, I just
Remember they
wished I
did say.
cared more
Remember
about the
they did
family.
say in the movie
Uh
that.
huh.
Remember they're like, we got your human body growing back home. Remember they mentioned that in the
Mm,
video. So I think at some point you could have the damn Navi and the human version of the general teaming up to go back to this thing.
perfect. Give me them both. Um, but yeah, my biggest complaint is that like this movie does have a lot of heart. I just don't think it hit me as much as it wanted me to. I just wish there was more. Which sounds kind of, I was going to say more time with the kids and the family unit, and but at the same time there is a lot with the kids,
Yeah,
so
I wish
maybe
it
I'm a
was
little off
five
on that.
hours.
But I feel like the parents get sidelined for a large portion of this movie. I would have liked more Sully and his wife, because they don't show up for most of the movie, at least in the second half. It kind of turns into the more about the kids. I don't know. I'm kind of rambling here. Yeah, I liked it, man. I'm at like an 8.2. I had a lot of fun with it. I'm wondering. I had like.
What? What?
Oh yeah, I had a lot of fun. I thought this was a blast. But I at the same time I felt the same way about Avatar. There's something about seeing it on a massive screen and the way it's presented that it's like you have a lot of fun. But then when you go back and watch it at home, it's like, oh yeah, that eight's more like a 6.5. I'm wondering if that'll happen again. Like, am I gonna be able to watch this 3 hour plus movie at home and still get enjoyment out of it without
Hey,
the bells and whistles? I don't know, but as it stands, I had a lot of fun with the movie last night, and yeah, I think this was an 8.2. I had a lot of fun with it.
I liked Avatar too, and I'd definitely rate it high.
Mm.
But I watched this in theaters too, man. I didn't want to watch this at home. I
Yeah,
don't even remember what I said though. I think a 6.6 is what I gave it. Yeah, 6.6, 8.2. You said
yeah,
okay. Yeah, go watch it. See where you fall. Uh, because we're pretty wide on this one. I thought it was incredibly long and kind of boring and unnecessary. I mean, it's fun. It's a James Cameron theater movie, but
yeah.
it definitely wasn't in the eights for me. I'll probably never watch this again. I don't see me sitting through this damn thing again, especially since it'd probably be at home, like you said, without the spectacle
Right.
and all
Yeah.
that. So probably not. Probably be a one and done. Yeah. So check it out. Let us know where you fall on the spectrum. Is it unnecessary? Has Cameron kind of lost it? Does Cameron need to go make an original, film again? You know, which I think he should get back to something actiony or sci-fi, but not this with real
Yeah,
humans and
I
real
would like to
effects.
see his imagination run wild with a new science fiction story. I mean, it doesn't even need to
Yeah,
be science fiction, but a new action kind of spectacle movie.
some new IP he can morph into a franchise, right?
Yeah. But if he does stick with, I mean, he is sticking with this, but I hope that the next one is just not as long. Just again, just give me a 2 hour tight,
Yeah.
fun movie that by the time I leave, I'm like, I want to watch that. Like, I want something like Maverick, where like you get out of Maverick, you're like, I want to watch that movie again, like fucking right now, because that movie is so thrilling and it's fast. It's not very long. You get to point A to point B, you get the fun climax, and you're out. Um, so I want that out of an Avatar. I don't want this 3 hour long fucking beast again.
Yeah. All right, 6.6, 8.2. Dude, have you seen that new, real quick, Shyamalan trailer?
Oh yeah, I read that book. It's a very good book.
Knock on the
I'm
door.
very excited to see how he adapts it. It looks very close to the book.
The trailer looks dope.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, it's Shyamalan, but he didn't. It's a book already. So,
Yeah.
if you don't really like Shyamalan's writing, or you don't have to worry about that. So that's good.
Yeah.
He's just directing it. But the last adaptation he did was Avatar Airbender, so there's that too.
Yeah, that was pretty rough.
Um, but I think this looked really cool, and Batista looked pretty good in it. Looks pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you this. Fucking this sounds so petty, but I got to be honest. I was so fucking annoyed. So the movie starts right, and typically at a Regal, they do the trailers, and then they do. Do you guys have Regal back home, or is it like AMC stuff?
It's AMC, man.
AMC, okay.
At
In
least it was.
Regal, they do like a little ad for their theater. It's just like a bunch of characters walking into the theater, and they all have like one-liners from movies. So like, there's one little bit where the girl's at the concessions and she's holding up her phone, and it's like the movie pass thing, and she's like, "So I got this going for me, which is nice." So like, all these characters just have movie references, whatever. And then after that ad plays, they play another ad, which is like the ad for their movie pass, and then the movie always starts after that. So the movie begins last night with those two ads. I'm like, oh, cool, no trailers. We're just gonna get right into this fucking movie. Nope. The next thing that happens after that second ad is the Mission Impossible logo shoots on screen, and I immediately look down because I don't want to fuck with any of that. And then all of a sudden I hear in this loud voice, and now for a sneak peek behind the scenes for Mission Impossible. I'm like, no! I was like holding my ears, and like it was like a 7 minute behind the scenes of like the making of a stunt that I didn't want to know anything about, and I was so fucking irritated. Like, and I was in the middle of my row, and I had all this shit on my lap, and I couldn't just like get up and walk out of the theater. So I just had to sit there and listen to like.
Had to sit there
I
and
was like,
take.
God damn it! Why did they do that? Just I don't want to know. But apparently, there's going to be an epic motorcycle jump at some point in that movie.
Oh, you think?
Like, God damn it!
It's gonna be something. He's hanging off the side of a motorcycle this time.
But I thought that was
So
irritating. I'm like, why did they show a
AMC
behind the scenes thing before this movie? Like, that's why. Just
AMC, we have the Nicole Kidman.
the infamous Nicole. I've heard about this.
Yeah, she's walking in a rainy street, and she's at the front of a really nice theater at AMC. This is where we come to cry. This is where we come to watch our heroes and our villains. Heartbreak feels great in a place like this. And she's like looking around the theater.
That sounds amazing.
Kind of voiceover like that. In this place, anyone can be anything. This is why we come to the theater. AMC theaters.
That's
it's
amazing.
ridiculous. And it plays every damn time. Oh, anyways, guys, thanks for joining us. Go check out Avatar: The Way of Water. Tell us what you think. Does it hold any water? Was it a flop? Yeah. What are your thoughts? Appreciate you hanging out. We do it every Sunday. Next week we're probably gonna do it on what are we doing? Thursday because of Christmas. So we'll see. Probably be an earlier in the week episode. We appreciate you. Please check us out on Spotify and Apple Music as always. Also here on YouTube. We love having you. Please come enjoy the chat with us and discuss some movies and things. We always have a little bit of fun on it, baby. So until next time, until the next beast, we'll say peace.
Peace.